Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. I am not Dr. Rita. This is Dr. Smith, Dr. Kim. Dr. Rita had an emergency. So she is with the pregnant mommy trying to help with get the baby out safely and soundly. So she will not be able to do the meeting as she had planned to talk about breast cancer a little bit more. And so what I am going to do is I am going to grab my slides, and for those who are interested, we'll just go through the products with Wakana, and I will try and answer any questions you might personally have. But we didn't want to have you go on looking for the great Dr. Rita and she just not show up. So hello, Tawana. So she's working and she's being the superwoman that she is. And I am going to try and give you some information about products here. So I don't have any kind of medical thing already set up, unfortunately. Hey, Ms. Jewel. And what I can do though is I can go ahead and just do products for you and answer any questions that you might potentially have. So let's see. Just give me a minute, please, to grab some slides for you. Hopefully everybody is having a wonderful, wonderful end of your day and everybody is relaxing. You know, the great thing about what we're doing here is that we offer products that can bring some significant, very, very significant relief to patients and symptoms that they potentially are having. I have, for me in my practice, I have seen some pretty remarkable things going on that has me jumping for joy almost every day. I have seen patients have so much better blood pressures. That has been a major, major thing. Of course, patients who've had pain relief, patients whose blood sugars are actually better as well. But the biggest thing about the CBD and it being a balancer. So for those of you who've not heard before, pretty much the gist of it all is that our bodies make two different kinds of CBD. We make our own CBD, our organs, more than 10 organs are a part of something we call the endocannabinoid system. And CBD binds to those different organs. Yes, our organs have receptors for CBD. And so what ends up happening is with our own natural CBD, you know, we get the binding to these different organs, and CBD causes, medically we call it homeostasis, but pretty much it just simply means balance. It causes balance in the body. And that balance is what allows us to live a good quality of life. Well, the flip side of that is stressful situations, environmental stressors, foods that we're eating, actual stress and anxiety and worries can deplete us of our natural CBD. And therefore that deficiency leaves us with the imbalance that we feel. And then we have the cascade of inflammatory cycles starting. And so as a result of that, you see more high blood pressure, more diabetes, more inflammation throughout the body. So logically thinking, if we replace what is missing, then we can get that homeostasis or that balance again. And so that's what we're doing when we give ourselves a good, high quality, pure CBD from a reputable company like Wakana. So what I've been able to see is I've started patients on, well, actually, let's start with my husband. My husband and my husband was in a bad accident a couple of years ago, and he has been suffering with pain in his neck and his knee and his back. He's had neck surgery. He's had a couple of knee surgeries, taking muscle relaxers, anti-inflammatories, and pain medicine, and still was not really getting the relief that he was looking for, to the point that he felt like, okay, why take it if I'm not going to feel better? So here comes Wakana. We start him on the products to help his pain, and lo and behold, yes, it worked. As a matter of fact, those of you who've heard me speak before, the pain cream, I call it my miracle cream, because literally after putting it on him and patients, they can feel the difference in 5 to 15 minutes. And to me, it's such a remarkable thing, because I've not seen anything like that before in medicine. So let's fast forward. He's doing this every day. He does something called layering, where every morning and every night he has the gummy, the tincture, and the pain cream that he uses. So it's 2 months, about 2 months down the line, and he says one day that he's been feeling dizzy. Well, I've been seeing the CBD help patients' blood pressure and blood sugar. So I've been telling him, okay, let's make sure you're checking your blood pressure every day. And if you start to see your numbers dropping, make sure you let me know. Well, you know how it is with men. So nevertheless, he hadn't been checking. And so as soon as he said he felt dizzy, well, let's check your pressure. Well, his systolic, the top number, was 103. And he goes on to tell me, well, it's kind of been in that range every time I check. So we stopped the blood pressure medicine, and we've been checking every day. Now it's been over a month now that we've been checking every day, and his pressure continues to be in the 120s over 70s with no blood pressure medicine. He's been taking blood pressure medicine for as long as we've been married. We've been married for 14 years. And now, because he was taking CBD for his pain, that CBD actually, again, when you take it, CBD is pretty much, imagine that it gets into your body and it starts looking around to see where it is needed, and it'll bind wherever it's needed. So in his case, it did help his pain, but also it looked at his blood vessels, recognized the inflammation in the blood vessels, went on ahead and attached there, caused those blood vessels to open up and vasodilate, and that's why his blood pressure is better. And so again, I can't say that CBD is going to cure your blood pressure issue or your sugar issue, because in order for us to be able to say that, we have to have double-blinded studies. It has to go through the FDA. But what I can tell you is what I have seen in my husband and in my patients, that once they've started on a consistent regimen of taking the CBD daily, that I have seen a nice drop in blood pressure, to the point where some have gotten off, some have gotten to the point where they're only taking half of the medicine they were taking before. But pretty much everybody feels better. And for me as an internist, what is most important is that patients are able to live a good quality of life. That is a very, very, very good thing when you're talking about CBD. And when you compare it to prescription medicine, that is where the biggest difference happens. You know, with prescription medicine, I can give you something to help your pressure, but potentially it might hurt something else. And we have to keep watching. We have to do blood pressure. Same thing with the blood sugar. I can give you some metformin, it'll help your sugar, but it might cause you to have diarrhea. With CBD, it gets into the blood, gets into your body, and it looks around to see where it can cause balance, and wherever it's binding, it's causing balance in those places. So let's think of somebody who might be having anxiety. It'll bind in the brain and it'll help to relieve that anxiety. Let's say they're having trouble sleeping. It binds in the brain and it'll help them to sleep. Look, a restful sleep that they're getting, that they weren't getting with Ambien and Lunesta type medicines. But you use that same CBD midday, and it gives you more focus and it gives you more energy, because I need for you to understand that it's giving you what you need when you need it. So blood vessels, like I said, it'll help them to open up, vasodilate, and it could help the blood pressure that way. It can help the pancreas by relieving the inflammation there and allowing the beta cells to upregulate, to better show themselves and produce more of the insulin that our body naturally produces. So again, we're looking at CBD as a balancer throughout the body. And that is why there's so many people who are looking for it, because it's giving such a better quality of life. But again, all CBD is not the same. You want to be careful, because I have patients who have had CBD from local stores, from the gas station, actually even some who've gone to Colorado and California. Everyone who has tried the Wakana products can attest to the fact that their product is of a much better quality. Funny story, as a matter of fact, I have a young 26-year-old patient who had been taking products from a local store. Her mom actually saw one of my videos and said, she messaged me and said, do you think this will work for her? She's been having chronic neck pain for a long time, has some really severe arthritis going on from her years of dancing and the work she does now. So I told her, you know what, it really will help. So she's been on anti-inflammatories, muscle relaxers. She's been on the medicines that are specifically for the nerves. Nothing has been helpful. And she's now actually getting Botox injections to try to help. And even the Botox injections have not been able to get her pain below that 50%. So her mom tells her, I've been talking about CBD, it might be a good fit for her. Well, she jumps the gun, and instead of waiting to get Wakana products, she goes and buys them from one of the bigger stores in Baton Rouge. Well, she comes to see me and she says, okay, I tried the CBD, like you said, it just doesn't work. And I'm thinking, but I don't recall you buying anything. And so I'm asking, okay, what do you have? And so she shows me this big bottle. These gummies are huge. She's like, I take 3 and 4 and I don't get any relief at all. And so of course it's my chance to say, well, sweetheart, Wakana is in a class by itself. The crown jewel of CBD, it truly is high quality, pure products that you're going to definitely feel the difference. But I told her then, listen, you're saying you're taking 3 and 4 of these gummies. Do not do that when you get your Wakana gummies. You need to start off with the 4th. Remember that, a 4th. Her mother was with her, and I said a 4th so much that her mom said when they left, they were clowning about how, oh, you heard Dr. Smith say a 4th. I mean, good Lord. I mean, what could, a little gummy do? Well, she gets her gummies in. Her mom happens to be there. Her mother reiterates, don't forget, Dr. Smith said, take a 4th. Well, I get a call or I get a text from her mom about 3 hours later, or this is mid-afternoon for me. And her mother, who is this sweet little Christian lady, she is mad. You can feel the heat from the text saying, she thinks she knows so much. I can't believe she's in here. She's tripping. Can we call you? So I'm thinking to myself, oh Lord, what happened? So I call and she's like, yeah, you know how they are. They think they know everything. She's over here saying that she don't feel right. She took a half of the gummy and I told her to only take a 4th. And so I said, okay, let me talk to her. And I said, okay, babe, what's going on? She said, I don't know. I feel like I'm having an out of body experience. And so I'm thinking, okay, I said, you did not take a 4th of a gummy, did you? She said, no, ma'am. I took a half, but in my mind, I'm thinking, no, baby, you took more than a half, because if you're having an out of body experience, you took way more than you were supposed to take. And so the next day I called to check on her and she was feeling perfectly fine. But I said, I already know what happened. You looked at that little gummy from Wakana and thought, this is half the size of the gummies I've been taking. I could take 3 and 4 of those. Surely I can take one of these. And she bet wrong. And she said, yes, ma'am, that's exactly what happened. But this is something that I need for everybody to understand. When we talk about the opioid epidemic, the reason there are so many accidental overdoses is because these are medicines that are not created for use for a long period of time. They never were. These are short-term solutions. So whenever you're taking it beyond the stated time, and if you don't have a responsible physician who's watching and trying to slowly get you off of this medicine, your body is going to develop a tolerance. And so you might start off at the lowest dose, but after a minute, your brain is going to realize, okay, this is just blocking the pain receptors. So it's going to ignore that pain medicine. So now you need a higher dose. Well, eventually you're going to get to the highest dose that you can get to. And now the doctor can't go up anymore. What solution do you have? Because your body has now become so accustomed to taking it that you need it, even though it's really not helping your pain. That's when you see people going and doctor hopping, buying it off the street, or now you see so many people ordering it over the internet. And it's a horrible situation because you see so many people dying. There are opioid receptors in the brain where your respiratory center is. And when you have too many that have bound there, it will lower your respirations and it'll slowly stop you from breathing. That doesn't happen with CBD. Now, if you take too much CBD, you might feel loopy, but you are not going to have an accidental overdose with that. And I have had patients who've had chronic pain, who've been on therapeutic marijuana. I've had patients, one patient who broke her arm up here, a humerus fracture near the shoulder, who was taking pain medicine, Norco, Percocet, still calling me every day crying because her pain was just intolerable. And she started the Flight 50 Delta 8 gummies, and it took the edge off. So I went from hearing from her every day crying to 3 days without hearing from her at all. And I actually got worried, like, okay, what's going on? Let me check on her. And she said that she could still feel the pain, but it was so much better. So we're also talking about something that potentially can be the answer to the opioid epidemic. That is how powerful CBD can be. We missed out on decades and decades of being able to use this product because of greedy people, because of misinformation. Because of the Farm Bill in 2018, which made CBD legal in all 50 states, now we're able to enjoy and have access to all of the wonderful health benefits that we can get from CBD. So that is why we are where we are today. So even though we missed out on decades and decades, we now have the ability, I'm sorry for my dogs, y'all. We now have the ability to have full access to CBD, but again, you do not want CBD from just anywhere. You don't buy good shoes from anywhere. You don't buy your foods from anywhere. It's the same thing. You want to make sure that you have a good quality product, one that has its certificate of analysis on display for everybody to see and look at to make sure you are getting what you are getting. But the way we'll kind of make sure that we have that blessed assurance that we're getting what we're supposed to get is that they have the third-party lab testing using one of the best labs that specializes in hemp to give us the certificate of analysis that says we have the best, the purest of what we're supposed to get. There's not anything additional, and it is free of chemicals and pesticides. So great product that can give us the best health benefits that we have had the opportunity to get. That is such a wonderful, wonderful combination, because remember, what we want is a good quality of life. That is what we want. And Wakana is giving us that opportunity to have a better quality of life. But not just that, we have the best when it comes to our health. When we're talking about from a natural perspective, but we also have the wealth side of it as well. So the founders have done an awesome job of giving us the best of both worlds, where we can be healthier, where we can live better quality of lives, but we are also able to build a generational wealth legacy for our kids and grandkids and great grandkids. So hopefully that has been informative enough, just to give you a bit of a background, but I'm going to share my screen with you now so you can see all of the products that Wakana has to offer. So one of the things that I do want everybody to know is that Wakana has products in all the different industries that are booming today. You're going to get to see different things: culinary, sexual wellness, weight loss, hair care. They have done their due diligence in making sure that not only do we have the best CBD products, with CBD, in my opinion, being the fastest growing industry that we'll ever see in our lifetime, but also in all the other industries that are booming right now. I want to make clear though, in all 50 states, CBD is legal. Federally, we're able to have up to 0.3% THC in CBD products. Federally, it is illegal to have up to 0.3% THC. That is what you find in our power products. So every product that you see that has power, it can have up to 0.3% THC. Well, even though that's a federally legal thing, there are some jobs where you still cannot have any at all. And we don't want anyone to miss out on the great products that we have. So for people who have to do drug testing, we do have a pure line that has 0.0% THC. So extra extraction of the THC is performed so that we can get down to the 0.0%. So there are products, even if you have to do drug testing. The question always comes up, yeah, but isn't the CBD going to show up? Well, when drug testing is done, drug testing looks for THC, which is the marijuana. It does not look for CBD, which is just the regular cannabinoid. So for those who were kind of on the fence about trying products because they were worried about CBD showing up, CBD does not show up. But interesting enough, I am one of those OCD kind of people. So when I started using these products, I actually tested it out myself. You know, I did just the pain cream. Actually, I had my office manager did just the pain cream for about 3 weeks, checked her urine, completely normal. The pain cream is a power product, but it's topical, and topical products don't get into the bloodstream. So I needed to check that and make sure for myself, because before I want to give that type of information and recommendation to my patients, I want to make sure that I'm not putting their jobs at risk. So 3 weeks with just the power pain cream topically, still the drug screen was negative. Using the power product for just 1 day, my drug screen was positive the next day. But interesting enough, when we did this again, and we did the actual lab testing. When it went off to the lab testing, even when one of the distributors was using power products, it actually came out as a negative. And that's because with the drug screen, with the cup, we're just looking at a sensitivity of whether something is there or not. But with the lab, they're actually looking for a certain number. And if that number is not surpassed, it's considered a negative. So still, if you're doing drug testing, stick with the pure. If you don't have to do drug testing, you can do power products. That little bit of THC binds with the CBD and helps that CBD to work at its strongest property. And so if you're able to do it, you get the best using the power products. We have different types of CBD products with Wakana. We're going to look at each one of them so you can know how each one is used and how long it lasts and its duration. So the first we're looking at here is the tincture, the Power Hemp MD, which happens to be the strongest tincture that we have. And when you're using the tincture, You're starting off with 3 drops under the tongue. We always say start low and gradually increase. If you take too much, you can't take it back, as what happened with my patient. But if you start slow and it's not enough, you can always add a little bit to that. So with the tinctures, we always want to start with 3 drops under the tongue, let it sit there for 1 to 2 minutes, and then swish it around the mouth and swallow. With the tincture, it's going to start working in about an hour, and it's going to last for about 4 hours. The power gummy, which is next, we want to start with 1/4 of a gummy. Doesn't matter if you've taken gummies from other places, always start with the 1/4. Again, you can always increase, you can't take it away. But when you take that 1/4 of a gummy, it'll get into your system in about 4 hours. It'll be at its peak, and it'll last about 8 to 12 hours. The premium flower, which we see next, is actually the fastest way to get CBD into your system. The smokable hemp gets into your system in about 1 minute when you use it as a smokable hemp. Now, this premium flower is a herb. Some people will put it as the dry herb in their foods, but if you light it up and smoke it as a smokable hemp and heat it up, it's going to get into your system in about 1 minute. So it's the fastest way. So when you're thinking of things like panic attacks, anxiety attacks, or acute pain, you want to have the premium flower because it's the quickest way to get the CBD into your system for it to start working. Then we have the pain cream here. Oh, I'm sorry. And with the flower, it'll get into the system in about 1 minute, and it'll last for about an hour or so. The pain cream, which I call my miracle cream, you rub it on the areas that hurt, gets into the system, into that local area. Typically patients will start to feel a difference with their pain in 5 to 15 minutes. And it has lasted actually various times for different people. I know some patients who say it lasts for about an hour or two. My husband, it lasts for about 4 hours for him. So it varies with different people, but nevertheless, we do something called layering for people who have chronic issues. So if you have chronic pain, if you are using it for insomnia, for focus issues, for chronic anxiety, you want to layer these products, meaning you want to use them all together because, as I said, they have different onsets and durations. So let's talk about chronic pain, for instance. Chronic pain, you're going to, every night, every morning, you put the pain cream on, do 1/4 of a gummy, then put the 3 drops under your tongue. So the pain cream, is going to start working right away, 5 to 15 minutes. When it's wearing off in about an hour or so, the drops are kicking in. The oral tincture is going to start working in about an hour. When that oral tincture is starting to wear off in about 4 hours, the gummy's kicking in, and it'll last for 8 to 12 hours. And now it's time to do it again. So doing that twice a day, layering, will help to kind of keep that steady state of CBD in your system, and is the best way to help those chronic issues that people are suffering from. We have a wide variety of gummies for all kinds of different needs. The first one that we see here is the King of the Jungle. It is the main product that we see in our sexual wellness line. Very, very good product here, and it works. When I think of people who are not having to take medicine like Viagra, which can drop your blood pressure, can stop your heat, in a crazy manner that can cause sudden death. This is absolutely the go-to for me. Men love this product, but women love it as well. And increase your stamina. So it's the main product in the section, THC in it. So if you do have to do drug screens for the jungle, it can be Queen of the Jungle too. So this spice of the sex life, and you see with the prescription drugs. The sign is over it because it is the strongest gummy we have, and it is the most similar to the real deal, THC. So we like to say is the cousin to THC. Don't want to use the Delta 8 because you never had an issue with it. It's a great product to use. Like, this is what my patient used for that severe pain that really took the edge off when Norco and Percocet focus and creativity. My beautician actually told me that since she started using the Delta 8, that different projects she had that she just was kind of sort of working at. She said, Dr. Kim, I'm getting stuff done. She was finishing things, starting new projects. So it gives you the focus and the concentration and the creativity that you're looking for. The pure gummies, if you're having to do any kind of drug screen, potentially having to do drug screens, you want to stick with the pure line. Pure and broad spectrum mean the same thing. So if you look on our website, our pure gummies actually don't say pure, they say broad spectrum, but it's the same thing. This is what you want if you have to do drug screens. And it's not that it does not work as well as the power, it will work. For power gummies, you might take a fourth. You're going to start off with the pure gummies, still taking a fourth, but you might need a half. You might need a whole of the pure, but it will work just the same. It can help with insomnia. It can help with stress and anxiety. It can help give you that boost of energy you're looking for midday as well. So still a very good product, even though it doesn't have that 0.3% THC, it will still get the job done, because remember, we're not looking for the THC. THC helps CBD work at its strongest properties, but CBD is actually the cannabinoid that has the most health benefits of all of them, including THC. And here again, we see the power gummy. We have a full, not a full line, but we have great culinary products, 3 different seasonings that you see here that are absolutely amazing. They will add some flavor and zest to your foods while still giving you the CBD measures that you're looking for. We have the CBD butter down here that you can add to onto your breads. And we have the solutions here that are able to be infused into your drinks and into other food products. But all of these are offering you CBD from a culinary standpoint. We have the full Royal Defense line, which right now, when we're still dealing with COVID and now flu season is upon us, we need to make sure that we are protecting ourselves fully. So that's what the Royal Defense does for us. For our bodies, you have the First Defense nasal spray, and y'all, this nasal spray works. I mean to tell you, my daughter has chronic sinusitis, so she has to use nasal spray every day. She said that this thing worked instantaneously the first time she used it. So this is all she uses now. For me, when I finally did have that congestion going on, I literally felt like my sinuses had never been open. When I used that thing, I could feel it even at the lower part of the orbit. It cleared up my sinus passages so much. I just felt like my whole head had opened up. That's how well it worked. So you have that. You also have the Essential Defense here that you can add onto your toothbrush to cleanse your mouth of the many, many germs we have there, but not just for our bodies. We also have the hard surface cleaner here. You have a produce wash here, and we have something like the Purell that we can use to clean our hands. But all of these products on the Royal Defense line are all alcohol free. They kill 99.9% of the germs, works up to 24 hours. So for everybody who is a fan of Microban, here you are. We have a perfect solution for that. All are lab certified and all are all natural. We have a full line of essential oils. That is such a craze here in our area, because it's a new thing that we hadn't really known a whole lot about, but we have many more people getting involved in essential oils and all the health benefits. If you've not heard of all the health benefits, I can't go through it, but black seed oil is the bomb. It is the essential oils, is the king and queen of essential oils. I mean, antifungal, antibacterial. It helps to also upregulate those beta cells in the pancreas, and it is a very good help with blood sugars. Wakana has done its job in making sure that we have an essential line, an essential oil line that we can use, that we can trust, that's going to be at its highest quality and at its purest. Here again, we see the rest of the smokables. We have pre-rolls and we have vapes. Again, it's the quickest way to get CBD into your system. And it's actually a very good way for people to stop smoking. So this, I've had my first experience with this with one of my patients who a pack or more a day. So we learned in medical school, she says she smokes a pack a day. If a patient says they smoke a certain amount, you can bet that they smoke twice that amount. So she very likely was smoking a pack and a half or 2 packs. When I talked to her about a month or so ago, she was down to 5 cigarettes. I got a call from her mom today, and now she's not smoking at all. And so much so that her mother called today to order some more vapes because she doesn't want her to run out, because she doesn't want her to go back to cigarettes. Many people are worried about vaping and, oh, but isn't it going to damage your lungs? What about all that we heard about vaping? Well, the issue with vaping, where the lung damage was happening, was with vitamin E, believe it or not. When you just use vitamin E as a pill, it's a wonderful supplement. But when you heat vitamin E, it becomes detrimental to the lungs. And that's what they figured out was causing so much lung damage, even in the millennials, because they're, big time into using those vapes. Wakana does not use the vitamin E, they use coconut oil, and that whole worry about lung damage is not there at all. So we have safe, effective smokables that can be used for acute pain, acute onset of anxiety or panic attacks, but they're not going to be detrimental, and it can also help with you on your quest to stop smoking. The full sexual wellness line, again, you see the king of the jungle, but there's also the G-Spot CBD lube. There's a Cherry Bliss lube. There's body butter and the Oud body oil. We have all of these different items that are on the sexual wellness line. And Dr. Rita said something some weeks ago that has stuck with me and that I'm going to also be using from now on. These make great gifts for newly married couples or people celebrating anniversaries. I mean, this is actually a very safe and effective way to spice up the sex life. And that is a very necessary thing when you're looking at couples. So just a little something that you can carry with you. We have weight loss and something to boost our immune system. So with the weight loss pack we have right now, the flat belly pack, we have first the detox tea, which we call it the bitters, is the first step in healthy weight loss, cleansing the colon, helping to get the right balance of good and bad bacteria, helping to boost your metabolism, and it facilitates the proper absorption of the good nutrients that we're looking for. So we do that detox tea for the first 4 days of our weight loss journey. After that, we add the flat belly brew and the flat belly gummies. So with the flat belly brew, it is an amazing coffee that you can drink once or twice a day. So it has CBD in it, but it also has Garcinia cambogia, which is responsible for preventing all of that fat storage and absorption, and green tea, which boosts your metabolism. With the flat belly gummy, mainly we're looking at the Caralluma fimbriata, which is a great supplement for appetite control. The biggest issue that we have when it comes to healthy weight loss is that we're not able to, we haven't been able to just make good choices. And while you can take products that will just make you lose weight quickly, those are not healthy ways to lose weight, and they're not lifelong. So you don't want to just yo-yo back and forth with losing weight, gaining weight. You want a healthy option. So having something that helps to control your appetite allows you to make good choices and get in that lifestyle modification that you need to get in for a healthy, lifelong weight loss. That's what this package offers us. And then we have the immune defense tea, which boosts your immune system again. Maybe I ought to have that with the Royal Defense line, but the tea is to boost the immune system because we want to give our bodies the best options, the best chance we can in fighting off infection and disease that tries to get us. The King T'Challa is one of our newest products. It's the only capsule that we have, but it's loaded with the chaga mushroom, our main ingredient, which has all of these awesome health benefits. It's anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, anti-tumor growth, but it also boosts the immune system, but it can help lower blood sugars and blood cholesterol levels. So this is actually a product that I've been promoting for all of my patients. So as I said, I'm an internist. So most of my patients are gonna have high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, or some combination of the three. This is a perfect product for them to be taking because it encompasses all the different things that are going on with their body to help them to get to less inflammation, more immunity, and less blood sugar, less cholesterol, so a healthier body. So this here, if you're not somebody really into the gummies or the tincture, this is the perfect product for you because, as I said, it is a capsule that you can just swallow as we've been swallowing pills before. And healthy hair. So listen, I have had so much hair shedding. I had so much hair loss right here in the front. We had tragedy a couple of years ago that just really threw us for a loop. And I had a lot of hair loss. Hemp Power Hair, and you're next gonna see the SOS hair care system has saved my hair. I no longer have all of these strands on the floor after I comb my hair in the morning. My hair is thicker, it is healthier. And it's crazy because so many patients are now saying, oh, your hair is so pretty. You know, it's something that they've always said. My hair has always been thick and long, but there was a spurt where, you know, nobody said anything about my hair. And I know they could tell how thin it had become. And, you know, all of my patients know my story, so they knew why. But now to hear them saying again how healthy my hair looks and how thick it is, and every time they see me, they notice my hair first thing, I have to thank Wakanda for that. The Hemp Power Hair, you can use it topically or you can use it orally. I've chosen to use it topically because I do use the other products, but I rub it on the areas that were thin, day and night, rub it in. And in addition to using the hair care system, and it did not take long at all. As a matter of fact, we have a business partner who is in our group who literally had alopecia right here at the crown of her head and had been told for ages that that was just hereditary. Same happened with her grandmother and her mother and her aunts. Well, she just took a chance because she just felt like, I mean, I'm 50. She has to be in her 40s. But she just felt like I'm too young to have this going on. So she started using the Hemp Power Hair. It has to be about 6 weeks now. She shared her pictures this morning, and I wish I had them to share with you. You would be absolutely blown away. Where the first picture, she has some strands of hair coming across, but you can really see her scalp. I can barely see her scalp today with the picture she has. So this is the real deal. Again, with the Hemp Power Hair, you can use it topically or orally. Beard and scalp oil, we have our very own Minister Mooney, who is one of our distributors with Wakanda, who has awesome pictures on the Wakanda for Life site showing his very full, healthy beard. And this is from someone who had cancer and had to go through the treatments and whatnot, and felt like his beard initially was, you know, just not what he wanted it to be. He had patches of hair that he just couldn't get to grow. But using the beard and scalp oil, he now has a nice full beard. and then mixing that with this wonderful SOS hair care system, which is comprised of the shampoo, the conditioner, the leave-in detangler, the cream, and again, the oud body oil, which you can use on your hair for the shine. This gives you healthier, stronger, thicker, longer growing hair. Again, I have seen it in so many of the women in our organization that I can tell you it definitely works and has, you know, restored the crown of glory that many of us are looking for. So this here gives you a good look at all of the different products that we have. I do want to quickly mention to everyone on the call that we just had our legacy conference and the founders announced that we are now eligible to buy the new founding members pack, which allows us to get into a pool where they pay shares 1% of the gross revenue, not profit, of the gross revenue. So every quarter that gets paid to you if you get the founding members pack. So get with the person who invited you to this meeting. This is one of the best decisions that I have made. And this is from a physician standpoint. Yes, I make a good living at what I do. However, one source of income is never enough, no matter what kind of business you are in. You never want your fate to be in one thing. I can tell you 13 years ago, I ended up on bed rest. I have never been sick, but there I was on bed rest for 3 months with a booming practice, but my money was now going to the physician I had to get in my practice to keep my practice afloat. It was a horrible time because I, at that moment, realized, okay, if I am not able to go back to work, then what am I going to do? Everybody needs to think along those lines. I don't care what kind of job you have. I don't care if you have the best position, you make 6 figures. You never know what might happen. Multiple streams of income is the best way for you to gain financial freedom and time freedom. You want not one or the other. You want both of them together for you to really be able to live a full life. So why not partner with a company that is as reputable as Wakana, that has the best CBD products that we could ask for? This is an amazing company. And now this new founding members pack that offers us a part of 1% of the gross revenue every quarter for the rest of our lives. It doesn't get any better than that. So thank you for your time. I'm going to check in here and see what kind, do we have any questions? You are welcome. I'm glad I could just kind of give a brief overview of products here. Uh-oh. All right. So, okay. So y'all couldn't hear. Okay. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. But I surely hope y'all heard the most, you know, the bulk of what I had to say. So I don't see any questions in here. Questions going once, going twice. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate the support. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night. And do not forget, get with the person who invited you to this meeting. I'm telling you, this is the best decision that I have made from a physician standpoint. You cannot ask for better with the co-founders that we have here. So good night, everyone. Get with the person who invited you to this meeting and get yourself started with Wakana. Good night.